Right, hello there people. I am recording more vlogs and videos. Basically, I have 4 to do. Yes, 4. And I'm going to be doing them all in a row because I've said before many times you'll always know the way that I do my vlogs. I don't do one, I sometimes do 4 in a row and then they get uploaded as and when. And the purpose of this vlog is to mention somebody called Saryfairy. Yes, that is her name. She's on here and she's got a wonderful channel. In fact, it's a channel that I think a lot of people should basically be watching because she is a wonderful person. Basically, she did things that many people do, and I think she was brave enough to do it, but she was great for doing it, and that is shaving her head. Now, I've said it before, I'm not the biggest fan of when people shave their heads, but she did it well, and I like her. I like her for who she is. I absolutely love her as a friend. I mean, I've got to speak to her and know her a little bit, and it's just amazing. There's not many people that I speak to on YouTube. I try sometimes, but there's not many people because basically they don't always reply back when you send them a message. Sadly, I know, but you can't be expected to speak to them all, but I'm just saying that, I might send a message to 1 or 2 people and they don't always reply back, so I just have to say, okay, understandable, I will still subscribe to you, but you just don't happen to reply back to my message. I'll leave it at that. But she does anyway, and some other people do, and basically she's a wonderful person, and I've always said that to many people that I get to know, that I will give you a mention on my videos. I always say that because there's no reason why I can't. I basically do that all the time, although sometimes I do forget, but I haven't forgotten on this one. And she's wonderful. She's actually from, yes, Canada. I know, it's not America, it's Canada, which is actually a place that I've never been to, but I would like to go to. And sometimes when I think of countries like this, I always think about things like, if I did a blog all about Canada, I could say about my favourite things. I could talk about what I like from Canada and things like that. And I suppose I could, but in this instance, I don't know what on earth it could be, because usually music comes up on the very biggest thing. That's the one thing I think about in most countries. I say music, and I think Canadian music, and I think Bryan Adams and things like that. But I don't really want to talk. There is one thing that I can say about Canada though, is they do actually have a very good dart player, or used to have a very good dart player, because he's actually 3 times champion, John Part. Sary probably has not got a clue about darts, probably doesn't know who he is, but to put it out there to her and many of the Canadians who might not be familiar, he is basically a 3 times world darts champion, although there is obviously possibly, and it is a chance for me maybe one day to talk about darts, because it's something that basically what people don't know is that there are 2 world champions, and I don't know any sport that has 2 world champions. I mean, they might do in football, you might do, because you've got your main world champions, but you've also got like your 121s. They go to the World Cup for them, and that I understand that, and I understand things like that. But usually in all sports, there are the one main world champions. They're the big ones. You don't have like 2 world champions in tennis. You don't go to golf and say, I'm a world champion in golf. You don't look at something like basketball and say, oh, we're like the world champions at basketball. Somebody else is world champions at basketball. The sport, Formula 1 has 1 world champion. It doesn't have multiples, and pretty much all sports have the one man, the man or the team or whatever, who are the champions, champion or champions. Darts sadly does have 2, but that's for another story. But yeah, I was wanting to do videos so I can give basically Sary a mention, because she's got a wonderful channel, and I should post a link down there. She's had all different types of hairstyles that I've seen on basically her videos, but she did start getting it cut shorter, and that was wonderful, because it was like, ooh, and then she thought, well, hang on a minute, you only live once, as many people, as people say, and she thought, ooh, it'd be an idea to shave it off, I mean, what a great idea. What an experience she has had doing that. And I think she is absolutely beautiful. But she has a beautiful personality. That's what I like. It's not just about the looks. The fact is, if you take that aside, she is beautiful inside, I believe. But she's a wonderful person, and her videos are great to watch. And she did say she was going to grow her hair back, which is a great thing, but it's nice because you do that with pixie cuts. People have pixie cuts and they do like the 6 months growth or something like that, and every so often you get to see how their hair grows, which is wonderful. In fact, there's no reason why you can't grow it again and cut it. Doesn't mean that you have to shave it off again, but you could do something like that. You know, you could sort of say, I've shaved it off, I'm going to grow it, and then when it gets really long, I'm going to sort of cut it again to whatever. But, you know, we all have our own preferences about what we want to do with hair and things like that, but that's just a wonderful thing. So she's brilliant. I love her videos, and I love speaking to her. And so I'm very happy that hopefully she's going to watch this video and hopefully like it. I mean, it's not the greatest video in the world, sadly. Oh, I know. I should really have thought of something really good to say about her, but sometimes it's hard to know what to say and how to do it, because when you try to mention somebody, you say, well, do I just say hello, Sary, and say that's it? Or do I go hello and, you know, so, but I do my best, I try my best and do whatever I can to make these videos as good as I can basically get. And when I mention somebody, I just try to explain a little bit and maybe give them the old big up if possible, you know, because, you know, she deserves it and she's a wonderful person. So hopefully she will like this one, and I'll leave it there because I've got to get on with my next vlogs I've got to do, but we'll be talking about various different things and bits and pieces.